Alright, what's up guys? This is me, Hidden Gaming here, back with another video. This ain't gonna be a very long one. I've been wanting to do this basically because I'm a big Marvel fan, and whenever there's a Comic-Con that's going on and we have Marvel, usually it's pretty exciting stuff. We usually get some pretty exciting announcements. It's been about 2 years since the last one. This went live on Saturday. I just haven't gotten around to doing a video on it. It's like, been a few days. But then again, people have been taking in on the information, of course, with everything that's been happening with Marvel, with all the new announcements, and the fact that we just had Deadpool and Wolverine release on Friday. So for the people that haven't watched that film, I definitely recommend it. I got to see it on the Thursday, so I guess technically the day before it said it was playing in theaters. Absolutely loved it. Definitely go recommend watching it. It is an absolute blast. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about all the new announcements, basically, that were revealed to us for the Comic-Con of 2024. The last time we had one of these was, like I said, 2 years ago. And that was about basically Phase 5, because the Phase 4 was about to come to the end that year. There was literally, I think, Wakanda Forever, and then I think that was the only film that was left in Phase 4. But we didn't know anything about Phase 5, so they decided to come out and show the movie list of what they were planning on doing for the next couple of years. And then we also got some stuff for Phase 6, I believe, which was just Fantastic Four, Kang Dynasty, Avengers, and then Avengers Secret Wars. So those are the only ones. Of course, things have changed a little bit since then with how the movies are coming out, and then, of course, movies that were switched with release dates and some that are pushed back. But yeah, this year, to be honest, really not as crazy. There was no Phase 6 plan. I mean, Phase 5, I think the only film that's even out for Phase 5 this year is Deadpool and Wolverine, which is surprisingly an MCU film. Even though Deadpool does take place in the X-Men universe, they have a little twist with that. I'm not going to spoil anything since the movie just came out. There's quite a bit in that film that I probably just need to stay quiet about. But basically, they had all the different. They didn't come out with anything or announce anything new. They just basically was giving us updates about the films that were coming out next year, because there's 4 different films, which we didn't even get announcements for all of those. And then we also got some stuff about the Avengers films. So the big reveal here, this was actually at the end. Yeah. For people that didn't know this, that is apparently happening. So, like I said, there's been things that have changed in the last couple of years. Originally, they were planning on doing Avengers 5 in 2025, I believe. I don't remember if it was May 2025. I think that's when it was. And it was supposed to be about the Kang. It was called Kang Dynasty, and it was supposed to be about Kang, which was supposed to be the big bad. We were kind of learning that from literally before Phase 4 even ended, and that Kang was going to be, I mean, he was already teased in Loki, at least one of his variants, and supposedly once He Who Remains got killed on Loki, all the other Kangs were supposed to come back. Well, things obviously changed with that, because for one, they kind of set it up in Loki as if the whole timeline got changed because Loki ended up getting it to be in charge of the timeline, which basically erased Kang. And then also the actor that plays Kang, which was also an Ant-Man, by the way. We also got to see a little tease of him in that. And the actor for him, Jonathan Majors, ended up having some legal troubles. He's in jail, I think right now, actually, but he got sentenced for a year. So that obviously changed things. This film also got delayed till May of 2026. So as of Saturday, we just got a new name for it, and it is now titled Avengers Doomsday. So that means, of course, Doctor Doom is now going to be the main focus. Of course, next year, literally about a year from now, I think it's July 19th. We can look at that in a second. I guess that's right here. July 25th, we're going to be getting the Fantastic Four in the MCU. So it's not going to be just a normal Fantastic Four film from Fox. It's going to be an actual MCU film. which is pretty crazy. Which we don't know if Doctor Doom's going to appear in that or not. So, and then there's supposed to be. So, obviously, Doctor Doom is Fantastic Four's enemy. It's kind of like their main antagonist. But apparently, he's going to be an Avengers villain, and I feel like that's pretty crazy. I mean, he's a big enough villain to do it. It makes sense. But not only that, but apparently Robert Downey Jr., which you might recognize this guy because he's kind of one of the main faces of Marvel, at least the cinematic universe, because we all know him for Iron Man. And basically they ended Comic-Con with him in a Doctor Doom outfit, them stepping out, and he took off the mask, and it was Robert, which was pretty crazy, in my opinion. I don't really know how that's going to work. Like, I'm excited about it, but at the same time I'm a little nervous because I don't really know why exactly they're doing it like that, because Doctor Doom's already this big enough villain where I'm not really sure, like, they need to have somebody that we all know as Iron Man, because that's all people are going to think of now. I mean, they might not even show his face, but we're still going to know it's him, because, you know, Doctor Doom obviously's got, like, the metal stuck on his face, so you don't actually see it, but you never know, though. They're going to do some weird twist because it's an Avengers film we're talking about. These are the big films. And, I mean, it's coming in 2 years. You know, I mean, it could be some alternate version of Tony Stark. I've already heard a bunch of theories about that. And then, like, he's going to, like, trick them. Like, maybe he's, like, the, I don't know. I can't really say much because it's kind of spoiling things for stuff that we've just seen. But, yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm going to talk about for Deadpool, but you guys got to go watch that. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I don't really know how they're going to do it exactly. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. But the Russo brothers are going to be returning for not just Avengers Doomsday, but for Secret Wars, which is still what it's being called, which will be released in May of 2027. I'm not really sure what exactly they're planning for that. I guess we're just going to have to wait. Besides the fact that we know that Doctor Doom's going to return. I mean, I'm sure they know what they're doing. They literally did some of the best films of the MCU. I mean, they did Infinity War and Endgame, as well as Captain America Civil War and Winter Soldier. So hopefully they don't mess these up. But anyways, like I said, the Fantastic Four is coming in the MCU. I think they're just now starting to film this, and they actually just added a new title to it. It's called First Steps, which is interesting. Supposedly, though, this film is not even supposed to be taking place in the MCU. It's in a alternate universe, which, again, I don't really understand. I mean, I get this is the multiverse saga, but how do they end up going into our universe, I guess? And it's also supposed to be in the 60s. I mean, it would have made perfect sense if it was in the 60s in the normal universe. Which, you know, they could change it still. But, I don't know. I don't really know what they're planning. But Doctor Doom, like I said, is not going to be the main villain of this. He still can make an appearance. We never know. But Galactus is supposed to be the villain. And we're also, of course, if Galactus is here, Silver Surfer, you know, is going to be in it. Because he is, like, the Watcher of Galactus. Which, supposedly, there was supposed to be a female Silver Surfer. I don't really know if that's still happening. I'm pretty excited to see the cast of Fantastic Four. I think that's pretty cool. I would have loved to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, which we saw in a little cameo of Doctor Strange, but it's going to be Pedro Pascal, which we all know as Mandalorian. I think the other people, you know, I'm excited to see them all as well. They are going to be both in the Avengers films, though, so somehow they're going to play a big role. So they're going to be in the next few films, so definitely excited for that. Thunderbolts, I don't think got a whole lot announced. I think the cast came out. We already have known that this was going to be the cast for some time. I guess this is coming out in May 2nd of next year. A lot of these people are literally from, like, Black Widow film, like Elena and the Red Guardian, and then Taskmaster, which was, like, the villain of that movie. But there's also people like Bucky and then John Walker, which I'm curious to see how they're going to play a part. Because, of course, if you saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were both kind of against each other. and John Walker kind of took up the role of Captain America. Bucky, let's just say, did not trust him very much. But now he's going to be taking the role of U.S. agent, which I'm personally pretty excited about. I know people don't really like his character, but I thought he was pretty enjoyable, to be honest. We're also going to have Ghost, too, which is interesting, from Ant-Man and the Wasp. But this is going to be kind of a group of people. It's not really like the Suicide Squad, but I mean, it's sort of like it. I don't really know exactly where they're gonna go with the film. They still haven't announced like what like the whole plot of it is yet, but I'm guessing they're gonna take out some type of threat. But some other big announcements. We didn't get much announcements for those two films, but what we did get is some stuff for Captain America: Brave New World, which is going to be the next film. It is not going to come out until Valentine's Day of next year, but we did get some introductions to what this guy's name is, Giancarlo. Of course, we saw him in the trailer. He's been teasing for some time now on social media that he's going to be playing in a Marvel movie, but he was not going to reveal who he was. But his name apparently is Sidewinder, which is the King of the Serpent Society. He is a Marvel Comics character. I'm sure he's going to be portrayed a little bit different, especially since I've seen what he looks like in the comics, and he does not look like this at all in the comics. So, I'm interested. I'm pretty excited for the film, even though it's not going to have Chris Evans as Captain America, since, he's not really here anymore. It's going to be Sam Wilson. I'm sure it's still going to be fun. It looks like a really cool looking film, and plus we're gonna get it's gonna have Ross, which is gonna be president now. He's been elected. He was originally Secretary of State, and now we get to see him played as by Harrison Ford, because the original actor for him passed away, I think, a couple years ago. Which I feel like, in my opinion, Harrison Ford's a perfect replacement, considering he's a pretty cool actor, in my opinion. He plays Han Solo in Indiana Jones, so it's pretty cool to see him in the Marvel universe now. Since he's in like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. So I'm excited for that. And not only that, but supposedly we're gonna finally get to see Ross, turn into the Red Hulk, which is pretty crazy to think, considering it's gonna be Harrison Ford too. So I don't know. And he's gonna fight Captain America. But we don't know a whole lot about that yet. I'm sure we'll get some more trailers soon. It's only July right now. But really, like I said, the big reveal. That's how we started this video about Dr. Doom. But no new movie announcements. These are all the same ones that we already knew about. Just a little bit of changes to some names and some cast stuff. Of course, things can still change in the future, which I'm sure I will make some type of video about. Let me know what you guys think about this. Comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one.